K-Base Guy here. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm bringing you my subscriber count because we are not far away from that 20K subscriber mark that I have before the end of the year. We have about one more week as of this video, one more week to hit that mark, and we should be able to get there. I think right on December 31st, I should hit that 20K mark. If you haven't subscribed, guys, help me reach my goal of 20K before the end of the year. What a heck of a way to start the new year by hitting that kind of milestone with you guys on board. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, definitely do so. If you need to wait till the end of the video to see if I'm worth it, well, we'll wait till the end of the video and see if I can earn your subscription. And if I do, I appreciate you guys. Welcome aboard if you are new. Let's get right into the video. All right, guys, so I'm bringing you 5 things that are wrong with your home theater right now and how to fix them. So this, of course, I don't know what's in your home theater, but they're common things that I've seen through comments, through other YouTube videos, and talking to you guys. I've heard and seen some of these common mistakes, or maybe things you don't know that are wrong in a home theater. So I'm gonna leave you 5 basic things that are typically wrong in a home theater and how to fix them. We're gonna start off in no particular order with number 5. Your speaker wire is just too cheap. And what do I mean by too cheap? It's too small. It was inexpensive. You took the easy road. You got the cheap wire so that you could save some money, but you sacrificed some of your sound in doing that. When you look at speaker wire, you need to get a certain thickness, get a certain type of wire. There are basically 2 types of wires out there. There is OFC, oxygen-free copper, and there is CCA, copper-clad aluminum. You want to go with the OFC. OFC wire does a lot better job at transferring that power from power source to your speakers, especially through long lengths of wire, or especially with a lot of power coming through them. It's a lot more efficient, so more of that power reaches your speakers, meaning your speakers perform more efficiently. You can reach higher volumes, less chance of distortion, and the wire is just good wire. It's just very healthy wire for your system. So you may have a little bit too cheap of wire. You also want to look for wire that's a little bit thicker. I personally love going 12 gauge wire in my home theater for every single speaker, no matter how far they are from the power source. 12 gauge is my go-to because it's thick enough to give me plenty of power, plenty of current, and like I said, the longer your wire, the longer that power current has to go through. If you have a nice thick wire, you rest assured that that power is making it from your amplifiers to your speakers. It just gives your speakers a better chance at performing optimally. So take a look at your speaker wire. You may have saved some money on it, but you also may have lost some performance. Number 4 on my list of things wrong in your home theater right now is the receiver. Go to your receiver right now and check your sound settings. I think they might be wrong. And there's a lot of things in receivers nowadays. There's so many different audio formats and there's settings within them, crossovers and levels and 2-channel setups and all this stuff built into receivers now. And a lot of times it's hard to know what the heck you're doing with it all. But a lot of times you may just select what sounds good, but maybe that doesn't sound the best. Maybe there's a better option that you should have chose. Go back in and check your sound settings. One of the biggest things that I've noticed in the comment sections of a lot of my videos, especially when it comes to receivers, is what audio format am I supposed to be using? So here's what I do. When I watch a movie, if I'm using my home theater as a home theater at that moment, I like to put mine in Dolby Atmos, even if the decoding is not in Dolby Atmos. I have it on Dolby True HD or something like that. Movie format that movie is decoded in. If I'm watching a DTS encoded movie, I'm gonna switch my format to DTS. A lot of times it'll do it automatically, but sometimes it won't. So you wanna make sure you're listening to your content in the right format, especially when it comes to music. This is an even bigger conversation. People always ask me, when you listen to music, K-Base Guy, do you listen to it in 2-channel and 5-channel? Do you listen into surround sound? Do you listen into all-channel stereo? Well, ultimately, it depends on what sounds best to you and what you like. But for me, I personally listen to music in 2-channel stereo because that's the way that I think you're supposed to listen to it. 2 speakers, and then if you want a subwoofer, add a subwoofer in, but all the information in that music can come from 2 speakers. If you have it in surround sound mode, then it's a lot of processing. It adds a lot of different effects to it that wasn't in the music necessarily, unless it's a Dolby Atmos music track, like on Tidal, for example. Other than that, I listen to it on 2-channel music. Now, if I am listening to a Tidal track that has Dolby Atmos encoded, well, you need to be on the right format. You can't listen to Dolby Atmos content in 2-channel stereo or 5.1. You need to have it on the right format. And nowadays, a lot of receivers will remember what format you pick. So if you want to put a certain format for your Blu-ray input, you can leave it there. And then when you change to your Bluetooth, you'll have a format for that. And then if you change to your Roku stick, then you have a format for that. So you don't have to continue to change every time you change inputs. It'll stay on that input. You just got to make sure you're listening to the right one. Now this one, number 3, may be a tough one for a lot of people out there, including myself. But one of the big things wrong with your home theater right now is that your seating is not correctly placed. We always talk about speaker placement and pulling it off the wall and getting them equal distance from each other and this, that, and the other, but we don't talk enough about putting your seat in the right spot. For my problem in my home theater right now, I have to admit, is that my seating isn't correct either. I have my speakers in a pretty good spot and everything seems to be well calibrated, but I can't get over one big hurdle, and that's where my couch is placed. Most audio and home theater enthusiasts will look at my room and say, hey, you need to pull your couch off the wall. Why would they say something like that? Well, when you put your seat against the back wall, you have a lot of problems. You have a lot of boundary gain issues. Bass seems to be at its loudest, and that may not be the cleanest sound or the most accurate sound. So usually when you pull your speakers into your room, the room has less influence on the sound. Same thing with your couch. If you pull your couch a little bit into your room, the room has a little less influence on the sound as well. So you may need to move your seating just a little bit. Now, a big thing that I see is your seats are offset, especially from that center channel, so it throws everything off. So for me, I don't have that problem. I'm sitting dead center in between all my speakers, so I'm in a giant bubble. But a lot of home theaters, a lot of living room setups, for sure, especially in the living room setups, your couch is off to the right, or your favorite chair is off to the left. Your TV's over in the middle, your center channel is underneath the TV, but you sit off to the left. So everything is shifted. And so it just sounds off. It sounds a little bit weird. Dialogue doesn't come from the front, it comes from the side. And so it kind of takes away from some of the believability in your movies. And if you listen to music, it takes away from some of the stereo imaging in your music. So you may want to take a look at your seating and see if there's a way where you can arrange your room to accommodate for your home theater and your sound system. Funny story, I'm actually after this video, I'm going to be changing my entire living room around, and I'm going to try to put it in a way that I haven't put it before. But if it doesn't fit my home theater and I can't seat my seats properly, then I won't do it. You want to make sure that you are relatively center in between all your speakers so that everything reaches your ear at the same time, same volume level, it all sounds correct. So check your seating, see if you can move it over a little bit, make sure you're centered, and if you can, pull any of your seating off the wall a little bit, and you'll find that your sound is improving. All right, my number 2 thing that's wrong with your home theater right now, and this is more particular to home theaters, not so much music setups. Your home theater has too much light in it. There's too much light. There's way too many lights on. There's way too much sunlight coming through. It breaks the immersion when you're watching movies. Of course, you don't have to watch a movie in the dark. A lot of people like ambient lighting on or some kind of lamp in the background, and that's fair play. But when you want to truly immerse yourself, if you're a true home theater enthusiast and you really are a die-hard movie fan, the best way to watch a movie is to make sure the room is completely dark and it takes the room out of the action. It's just you and the sound and the image in front of you. If you make your room completely dark, you'll feel more immersed in whatever you're watching. A lot of people who have projectors will paint the ceiling and paint the wall behind it, make it black. You can do that with the TV too, and it just allows you to take the room out of play and give you a better chance of feeling like you're in that movie instead of watching the movie, if it makes any sense. So for me, I have a gray screen with a white wall, and so when I have my projector on and I black it out, I can still see the light reflecting off the ceiling and the white walls and such. So at the end of the day, I know I'm still in my room, so I don't always feel like I'm deep into that movie. But true home theater enthusiasts with true dedicated home theaters, you should think about blacking out your walls, maybe blacking out the ceiling or something like that, putting some panels up, getting the room out of the equation as much as you can. It only helps to add into the movie experience. So you paid all this money for a nice television or projector, you paid all the money for the sound system, you paid all the money for the seating. The next best thing you can do is get all that lighting out of the room when you're watching your movies so that you can enjoy them to the fullest. Right now for number 1, the number 1 thing wrong with your room right now, and this is actually a big thing that a lot of people may not be aware of. The big thing that may be wrong with your room right now is that your speakers are too big for the room that it's in. We're talking any speaker, your front speakers, it could be your surround sound speakers, it could be your subwoofer. Sometimes people want the biggest and best thing. Some people want the latest thing. Some people want the best speakers that they can afford, but it doesn't matter how good your speakers are if they don't fit in the room. I used to have dual PB4000s in a bedroom, and it sounded really bad, to be honest. There maybe were a few spots in the room that sounded good, but most of the room sounded terrible. 2 PB4000s from SVS sounded bad because it was in a bedroom that was way too small. And what it did to the sound was suffocate it, especially with bass. Bass are really long and slow moving sound waves. They move really, really slow. They need a long space to travel. And if they can, then you'll get a lot more bass out of them. You'll get a lot more volume out of them. You won't have to turn them up so loud. You'll have less problems with nulls and peaks. And so you want to have speakers that fit the room that you're in. Make sure that your speakers aren't too big, overpowering. You may think, well, I'll just turn the volume down. Well, that's not always going to solve the problem. Some speakers just need that breathing room, especially ones that have maybe like a port on the back or something like that. You may want to pull your speakers off the wall, but if you don't have the space to do that, then you're not going to ever get a truly good sound. So make sure if you're looking for speakers or if you're looking to upgrade, make sure that you're not buying speakers that are too large for the room, because you won't get the performance out of them that you're going to be expecting. Sometimes you can get a lot better sound with a bookshelf speaker than you can with the comparable floor standing speaker, because a bookshelf speaker is just better for the room. Make sure you don't forget the room when you're looking for your next home theater equipment. It makes a huge difference. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for 5 things wrong with your home theater right now. If I said anything at all that pertains to your home theater and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I just did you a favor, so definitely subscribe. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed and none of these apply to you, still hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 20K and I cannot wait to get there. I have a lot of really nice things coming for the new year. Starting January 1st, there will be a whole new K-Pace guy for you guys. You guys are gonna like the changes on the channel. So before you guys go, head down to the comment section below and tell me, list some other things that may be wrong with home theaters. Tell your tips to us. Let us know what you're doing to perfect or get as close to perfection with your home theater and your music listening setup. Tell us what you're doing right now so that we can help everybody get to their goal. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. We will see you in the next video. K-Pace Guy out. Peace.